I just wanted to tell you about an experience our family had. When I was 13 years old, my mother ended up having to have an emergency hysterectomy. And she and my dad, they really still wanted to have children. And so her surgery was in December, and her birthday's on February 13th. So on February 13th, she said to my dad, I'm going to write a little letter to this lady in California. This lady in California was someone that one of my mom's friends knew, who had helped her and some other ladies in Orem with adoptions. And my dad said, oh, you shouldn't, do you really need to do that right now? You haven't totally recovered from the surgery. And my mom said, oh, my sister's been trying to adopt a baby for a year. It's gonna take at least a year for us to be able to adopt this baby. So anyway, she writes this letter on her birthday, February 13th. And 2 weeks later, the lady she had written the letter to called them up. And just to give you a little background on this woman, she was a nurse for an obstetrician, and this was back in the days before Roe versus Wade. And so whenever a young woman came in who didn't want to keep their baby, and she was pregnant, and then she would place these babies. And she was a convert to the church, and so she felt like this was her way to do missionary work, was to place babies in homes of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So anyway, back to the story. She called up my mom and dad, and she said, the people who were on the top of the list for the next baby to be placed decided that they were going to go on a trip to Europe instead of adopting the baby. And she said, I always pray before I place a baby, and you were on the bottom of the list, but you're the ones that are supposed to have this baby. And so my brother was born on March 22nd, so it was like 6 weeks after my mom had written that original letter. And I'm just really grateful to that convert to the church, who was so close to our Heavenly Father that she felt the inspiration that our little brother could come into our home, because he's blessed our lives ever since.